Any of you who've ever lived in the woods or a remote location like this in the Pacific Northwest know how important it is to have dry wood when you need it. Unless you want to break the bank and pay for your heat, pay for electrical heat, you're going to need a dry wood source. And over the last 20 or so years, I've found the way not to do it and the way to do it. And I'm going to share a few of those with you today. For years, I simply used to put my split wood on the ground under a tarp like this. What I didn't know at the time was that split wood contains about 160 to 170 gallons of water per cord. So what happened was, as the wood released its moisture, it condensed on the underside of the tarp and rained literally back on the wood, causing me to have wet wood, or wood that would not start. So I discovered a new method of covering it and stacking it that is very effective, and I'm going to share that with you. I tried a couple of Holzhausen designs that I had seen online, and they worked pretty well, but you still had to deal with wood being packed too tightly. The method that I found works the best is this kind of tent design. And all you need is a simple tarp. But how you stack the wood is very important. Now, what I learned from the Holzhausen designs was that at the end of each row of wood, and end of each row, you have to build something like this. You have to chock-a-block it so that air can easily flow through the ends. Then you can pack it pretty tightly on the inside as long as the ends are open and can hold it like this. And generally you don't want to stack it any more than, say, 3 rows deep has been my experience as well. So 3 rows deep with this design at the end to allow the air to pass through. Something else that you must have to get good results is pallets, or some kind of pallet-like structure on the bottom. The wood cannot lay directly on the ground, and if you can put gravel beneath that pallet, it works even better. But you must start with pallets. All of these stacks that I showed you, they all have pallets underneath them, and that makes a difference. The air must be able to circulate below and above. I put pallets on the bottom and on top of treated wood. Now, this task of stacking wood, this is where a little bit of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, comes in handy, because unless you have that skill or that tendency, you don't really get it stacked with this precision. Of course, the importance of using this chock-a-block or crisscross design on the wood is that it allows you to build straight walls that can contain wood on the inside. So it's only important that you do this on the outside areas, and then you can stack it pretty tightly on the inside. But both outer walls need to be of this design, otherwise once the wood gets stacked, it just slides off like a pile of snow. So you need some way to design nice flat walls in which to enclose the rest of the wood. Here's another similar tent with 2 or 3 cords in it. Again, you'll notice it's off the ground on pallets and stacked in a slightly different way. The outer sides are in that crisscross design, and then the wood is simply thrown in the middle. But again, the key is air on the top, air allowed to circulate around the sides and the bottom. That's the key. So that when the moisture is released from the wood, it simply runs down the interior of the tent. Once the wood has been effectively dried under one of the tents, you can put it in a stacking like this. Oh, squirrels have been here, I see. Now this was dried under the tent for, oh, I don't know, 2-3 seasons, and then stacked somewhat tightly here with T11 boards on top to catch any moisture, because it's the plastic that actually traps the moisture in. So you want to separate the wood from the plastic in some way, either with T11 or some kind of moisture resistant board, and air underneath. Again, this was an old trailer that I cannibalized to keep the wood off the ground. Very effective. But you've got to get the wood dry first before this works. I'll show you one more. This design here, which is containing about, I guess, about 3 cords of wood, it's a little different. Again, it's based on a Holzhausen design with a crisscross stack at both ends. And again, on kind of home constructed platform. I ran out of pallets. But the key here, even though there isn't as much space going down the side here, is lifting, see if we can get it, lifting the wood, lifting the tarp off the wood by using a rail running down the middle. So at least whatever moisture condenses on the inside runs here. It only gets stuck about here and then drips down. But that worked out pretty well. This is about 3 seasons, I guess, as well. And this is very dry wood. Doesn't it work as well as the tarps or the tent type design? But it works real well. And in fact, here is a shed I built from scratch, mostly from wood on the property, lumber on the property, and those are cedar shakes, hand cut. There's a lot you can do with wood, isn't there?